Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. And welcome to Saturday Morning Makes. This is my episode 39 for 2024. If you are unaware, Saturday Morning Makes is an open art collaborative. You do not have to post on Saturday or even create on Saturday. You can post and create any day that you are able, that you are inclined, etc. Just make sure that you use that hashtag so we can see what you create, and also use that hashtag to do a search so you can see what everyone else has created. And in the meantime, I will link you over to Jillian Norwood's YouTube channel, where she will give you more information and background on the whole project. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey y'all, welcome to Saturday Morning Makes. I am going to go ahead and jump right on in. And before I show you these things, I wanted to give you just a quick sneak peek of this adorable vignette. So I was part of a hop this week with Whimsy Stamps, and our sponsor was Studio Light, who provided the frames as well as some glue. And you can't really see it yet, but there's a glow-in-the-dark element here. So I just quick wanted to show you this. I'll put some pictures up on the screen, and I'll link over to Instagram where the hop is currently going on. I'll be showing my process video later, but I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to hop over to Instagram and be a part of that hop if you are interested. So for today's makes, you can see them here. I'm going to go ahead and scooch some things out of the way. You may be seeing some items that you are familiar with on your screen, but we're going to start with these tags. So I started out with these printables. I cannot remember the name of the vendor, but they are from Etsy. So this one is just printed on regular computer paper. This is that, I think it's like a 65-pound weight pen and gear from Walmart. And you can see that the images look about the same. This one's a little larger, but in terms of like the color quality and all of that, it's a very good quality. So there's those images. This little cute guy drunk in his cup of wine. They're just so funny. This guy's just getting started. Look at him. He's still fresh and bright with his little birdie friend on his hat. These three I've used on a tag. And then these three, they may be the same three for all I know. I don't know, but they're having a good time. Tipsy and bright. So those are just some fun printables that I wanted to share. And then these are the tags. So this cardstock, this pattern paper is from a Simon Christmas kit several years ago. And you can see that I have the Nomis here, and then the gingham here, and on this side it's reversed, gingham and Nomis. And then I just use this, I don't even know what you call this. It's almost a burlap ribbon. It has that same kind of burlappy weave, but it's not burlap. And then I have this seam binding and a bulb pin, and this is part of an old necklace. I just thought it was really pretty. Now this Cheers die is from Impression Obsession. I thought it was perfect to go with these two tags. This is actually a piece of wrapping paper, but I used a die from Whimsy Stamps to cut out that perfect oval. It's this guy right here. And I used a tag from Tim Holtz. Let me see. To make both of these tags, it's this guy right here. I think they call that a number 9. It is 3 inches by 5 1/8 inches, but it's this largest. But yeah, really love those frame tag dies. Both of these were cut out of the same, and then the Cheers, of course, is the same on both. And then, oh, I don't have it out in front of me, but you can see on this one, this die cut here is the keyhole die from Whimsy. And this paper is from Tim Holtz. I actually pulled both of these out. This one is from the fall/Halloween pack, and this is the Christmas pack. And you can see this red isn't a bright, bold Christmas red. It's more of almost an orangey red like a barn door, or is it Crackling Campfire? Is that the name of the ink? But anyway, to me it read kind of folly. So that's why I pulled them both out, because I didn't want, you know, in your face Christmas. But I love them both, and I ended up going with the black and gray on this one, and I just love it. And then on this side, I use the black and gray gingham, and again, the Nomis up at the top. And then I use 2 different laces to bridge both of the different pattern papers. And on this one, of course, I use the same gingham, I want to call it gingham, kind of burlap-esque, to kind of bridge those as well. And then here I use this pattern ribbon from Joann's, and this one was from Michael's. And then here I have a bulb pin and part of that same necklace. And then I also added a snowflake at the end in the same Cheers die. Now, if you look closely, all around my fussy cut images, you can see that I have some sparkle gems, and these are from this Calls for Confetti. Do I have them out? Let me see. Hang on. These are the Diamond Sparkle. Now remember, the sparkle kind of reflects a little bit of color, whereas the ice does not. But I love them both. But you can see as this one, you know, as the light hits it, there's a little bit of color to those sparkle gems as well. And same on this one. Just depends on what's underneath it as to what color you get. But I think these are so very fun. I love them both. Yeah, look at those cute little images. Super, super cute. Now, if I have not said all of the products that I've used and you have any questions, by all means, drop that downstairs in the comments section, and I will come back and answer to the best of my ability. And I'm pretty good at keeping track of everything at this stage of the game. Now, once everything gets put away, then, you know, that's a different story. Now, this is actually the first tag that I made this weekend, but I'm just showing it in this order. This guy is absolutely adorable, and he is what I started with. He is from Whippersnapper Designs. I got him in red rubber, unmounted. This is how he came. But he does stick. This does stick to the door of my Misty. And even though it's red rubber, you don't have to take out your mouse pad piece because it doesn't have the foam. But it's stamped just wonderfully. And I used Memento ink, and then I used my Olos to color him up. Now, I actually had used a gray to go around him, to do the kind of the sky around him, but it was too dark. So I went back in with my 0 pen, and it blended it out, but it blended it out to a green. And you can see there's still some streaks of gray in the back. But I had already colored the hat green. So when I saw this green, I just embraced it. So I came back in with this lightest of greens, and I went over the gray green, and then I got this beautiful kind of cast around him. And then I came back in with some warm grays. I've got 3, 5, and 7, and that's what gave that beautiful dark halo around him that allowed him to stand off the page like that. And then I used this from Vicky Papiano and Stamperia for the little snowflakes and some of these little snow hills around him. And I did a little bit on the brim of his hat, as well as the pom-pom, just to give just a slight bit of texture. Now, to die cut that out, let me see if I have it handy. I actually used this die, and I don't even know where it came from. It's just in my stash, but I did like 2/3 of it because I wanted this to have a flat bottom, but it fit within this outline of the frame just perfectly. So I really like that. And then I used these dies out of some holographic, the specialty cardstock, and I used the same specialty holographic cardstock to do the Cheers, but I thought that went really well with the gray background. And then this, I thought it's not quite white, but it actually stands out quite a bit, so I really liked that. And then, of course, the Believe from Anna White. It's a nice big die. I've seen her actually make ornaments. That's the word I'm looking for. And you can obviously add them to whatever you want. I have Believe and Hugs and Joy and Cheers. I have the numbers. I just really like them. It's absolutely beautiful. I love that. And then this green is a specialty card from Recollections. And then this pattern paper, let me see, I know I have it right here, is from the Quilted Grunge. It is that darker one. And then I went around the edges of this tag and this tag with one of my yellow-green Olo markers, the darker ones. And then, of course, this side is the brown because they're double-sided. And I used the brown to do the B's as well, the BE, so that it would be the same color on this side. So it was nice and clean. Did not think about doing that for the snowflakes, but I think because they're kind of a craft color on the back, that they don't stand out too bad. And then, of course, just some lace from my lace bin, another bulb pin and a snowflake gem, and just a little bit of twine to tie it all off. So there is that one. Super, super duper cute. And then I made this one this morning. Let me scooch these out of the way. Now this image is also from Whippersnapper Designs. I thought it was super cute. Again, red rubber, unmounted. But you can see how sticky that the red rubber is. It sticks to your MISTI in the same way it's sticking to the cellophane pack. So, very, very cute. Just stamped it out again in Memento. And then I got some new colored pencils a couple weeks ago. And I actually used them to color him up. Now, this was in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep. And I have to say that my vision was quite blurry. So I was fully expecting it to be a hot mess. But I got these colored pencils from Castle Arts. I don't know if you guys have seen those popping up in your ads on social media at all. And these really aren't kind of my colors, blues and purples and greens, but the browns are. But you can see that they're kind of pinky browns, and then there's grays in there, and then the greens, of course. So I went ahead and purchased it, and I am not mad about it. Just like with any colored pencil, though, you want to make sure that you keep your tips sharp when you're coloring. And I've started to swatch them out. That's as far as I've gotten. I've only used them a couple times, and I try to swatch a few while I'm coloring so that it doesn't become a task in and of itself, because I'm not into swatching. But I really, really do like these colored pencils. So those are really good. And then, of course, I used my Arteza, my Ink Onyx, a little bit just to get into some of those finer places. And you can kind of see on his nose, and the berries are a little bit different color. I don't know if you can see that or not, to be honest, now that I'm saying it. But it's super, super cute. And I colored that up without any direction in terms of what paper pad I was going to use or anything. And I ended up using, let me see if I can pull them out here. Oh, you know what? Let me back up a little bit. And well, let me finish this, and then I'll go back to the paper I used for those. So for this guy, I used this pattern paper. This is one of my Temu pads. And this is the Margaret. And that was the pattern paper that I used. I just felt like it pulled out all of those colors. It has the mauve in there. It has some blues. It has those greens. Has the grays, of course. And then I was going to use this behind it, or even this one. And it looked great just with the image, but it did. Neither of these looked good with that. So I found this panel already die cut in my stash, so I went ahead and used it. And I just fussy cut around this frame, and I think it turned out really cute. I really like that. I do have to say, I don't know if you can see it or not, if the light's going to pick it up. See that little bit of sparkle in the background? I used this snow stencil, and I didn't leave it over here. I don't know if it was, I think it was the snowflake. It may have been snowflake, or is it just snow? It wasn't the sparkle one. I think it was the snow. But anyway, I put it on the actual snowman image, you can see. And then I did it on this background paper as well. Now there's already enough going on that. That's a lot going on between the colors and the patterns and all of that. But I just wanted that to pull it all together. And again, you can still see it on this scrap when the light hits it just right. And I don't know that it is hitting it just right for y'all. But anyway, it's there. And then I had this twine. This was the last piece of this particular twine. So I just wrapped it around, tied it, and then I added the bulb pin with the word believe. Now these dies again are from Impression Obsession. They are these word charms from Anna White. I've used them several times lately. I really like them. And then again, another charm, another snowflake charm from my stash. And then the Just Believe is from Tim Holtz. I used, it was the Occasions pack. So I used one of the white ones, the black letters on white for my next card. And then of course I used the white letters on black for this card. And I just tied in the Just Believe with this that I already had on there. And I love that the Olo markers that I used to color this up coordinate so perfectly with the colored pencils I used. And it just brings that kind of pinky purpley mauve down to the bottom. Now this is probably a little more pinky and vivid pinky than the softer tones there, but I think it works. But again, that's the Small Talk Occasions that I used. Now, I did use this pattern paper pad on this next one. I used this. Let me pull it out of here so it doesn't give you the glare. But I used this. I have several layers, but that is one of them for sure. I didn't add anything to it. No stamping, no stenciling, nothing. But I did use this stamp set from Miss Anna White. I've used it lots. So this next card has lots on it, and I'll show you in just a second. But I also wanted to show you this lace set, and I used almost the whole piece. But here is my card using this Sweet Santa. Isn't that adorable? Well, she calls it Saint Nick. So I used my Olo markers to color him up. This, you can see, is that lace piece. Then I used a piece of red from, I don't know, it was from my stash from the 12 by 12 that I got from Miss Tina, Miss Generous, Gracious, Adorable Tina. And then this is this piece. And then I had a cream colored card base, and I just did some stamping around the edges with, I made good use of these extra stamps in here. So I really had fun with that. And then I did ink blending around the edges. And if you can see, I took my one of my Inkonic pens and I went around the edges of here. And then I also used my gel pen, my white gel pen, and the Inkonic pen to go around that layer. And just some of that fun faux stitching. And I used my white gel pen on here to do the little highlights on Santa, as well as on the berries, on the twigs, and the gingerbread, the shortening, frosting, and the white on the candy cane. And then I added this little lace trim here with a button from my stash and the twine through it. And then I put another piece. See how I layered these two together? I used another one down here and wrapped it around the back. And then I used this twine from my stash. You can see it has gold weaved in there. And then this, Be Good for Goodness Sake, I thought was just fun reference to Santa Claus. And that was from the Small Talk Occasions. And then on the inside, maybe I did too much. I went from doing nothing to maybe too much. But I just wanted to use up some more of that pattern paper, so I trimmed this down to the same shape to coordinate out here. Did some more of the ink blending and the stamping. And then I used some more of those pattern papers to make those banners on that side. And then on the back, I used the same snow stencil to incorporate that on here. And then some more of the stamping. And I plan to write my name right there. And I think that is it for this card. I did do some shimmer spray over the whole thing, and I did not do any gems. That's the thing with Primitive. They usually don't have any of the bells and whistles, the sparkles, the adornishments, whatever you want to call it. But I think that we just like to do that. So this is our take on Prim. It's not authentic or genuine Prim, but definitely has a Prim feel and inspired by Prim. So I love all of these. I started to say this is my favorite, and it might be, but if it is, it's only by a skosh because I really love all of them. This one, this grungy vibe is just my thing, and I think that's why my heart is a little more, whatever you want to call towards it, I don't know. But these are my makes today, sweet friends. So I was glad to get in the craft room. October's been a busy month. I'm looking forward to slowing down a little bit for the next few months. So thanks guys for being with me for Saturday Morning Makes. I will link to the amazing Miss Jillian Norwood, and I will be back sooner than later with a video using some of her new products. I'll also have a video sharing how I made this guy. And again, I want to encourage you guys, get on over to Instagram, hop around and see all that beautiful inspiration and get your names in the running for the gift. There's a gift pack from Studio Light, and then there's a gift card from Whimsy. So you want to be part of that. And until next time, guys, I'm going to stop jabbering now. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your love and support. And until next time, mwah, I'm out.